Hi, this is James Cook. I'm with the University of Maine at Augusta, and I'm shooting this video to demonstrate how simple it can be to participate in the MaineOSLO website by adding your own original learning object, what we used to call a lesson. Uh, it's an online object that contains information. It may contain assessments, could be video, text, images, you name it. If you can teach it and it's your content, you can add it to this website and we can begin to share that kind of information with one another. So let's talk about how to go about doing that. Now, this video assumes you already have an account and you know how to log in. Go to MaineOSLO.net and look through the tutorials on how to register and log in if you haven't done that already. But once you've registered, let's log in by going to MaineOSLO.net and clicking the login link. Now, I'm going to log in today with a temporary account called Test User. That's my username, and you'll want to supply your own username and your own password. But then when you click login, you'll be sent to a dashboard. A dashboard is nothing more than a place that has every tool that you need to add your own learning objects to this Learning Commons, really. So to do that, you can go one of two places. You could go to the top where there's a plus new. You could hover over that and click on Learning Object. Or you could go over to the left where it says Learning Objects. You could hover over Learning Objects and you could add New. Pretty simple, right? So let's do one of those and it will take you to this page. Now this page contains a number of different boxes, but you can really think of this as a fancy word processor. Or maybe a Google Forms website. One in which you're going to enter certain kinds of information that is going to tell the computer that's behind MaineOSLO.net how to publish a web page. So the first thing you'll need is a title, and the title will go at the top, right under Add New Learning Object. So we'll type the title. Now, let's imagine I wanted to, as a social network analyst and a political sociologist, I wanted to talk about social networks in the Maine state legislature. That would be my title. It's kind of like writing a title for a journal article. You should write something that's thorough and complete, concise at the same time, so that people can find the sort of thing that you're interested in teaching. Now, in the box right below is the place where you would put the actual learning object. Let's do that. Let's type in some text. You would just literally click on this white box here, and you would start typing text. So here is paragraph 1. And my writing is not going to be very great right now. You can see that I can just start typing away. When I misspell a word, you'll notice that the spell checker will tell me about it, right? Misspell a word, that will be automatically fixed. I can begin a new paragraph just by going to the next line, hitting enter. Here is paragraph 2, a description of the Maine state legislature. Great, so you have text here. That's great, but you can do more than just add text. You can highlight text and then add bold or italics. Excuse me, add italics. And you can stylize your text. Here is a list of mammals. Perhaps I might want to include those. If I want to include a list, I could hit the button for a bulleted list, a cat, a mouse, an opossum, a kangaroo, rhinoceros. And then when I'm done with my list, I can unclick that and off it goes the bulleted list, and I can keep on typing. I could add an image. Here is an image. And where would I go to add that? Oh, look, add media. So I could go into the add media function, which is a pretty typical one. It's going to allow me just to select files. And perhaps I'm looking for something nice here. I might want to add an image of a social network for some reason. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to want to enter alt text because that makes it accessible. This is a depiction of a social network with 5 nodes. Okay, I'm just giving you an example here. If you could link this image to something, you don't have to. I don't want to link it to anything. You can make it a thumbnail, medium, or full size. I'll make it full size, and then I'll insert it. Boom, there it is. Okay, so there's an image. I can add more than that in media. I can add a video. So I would recommend you make videos in YouTube or Vimeo or somewhere else. Please don't upload videos. It will take up a lot of space and probably not work. But if you have a YouTube video, you could insert it from a URL. Or you could even insert another picture from another web page using a URL, although you have to make sure to attribute the source, right? So I'm going to go to my YouTube website. I'm going to have to sign in. Oh, let's just say I wanted to include someone else's. Eddie Vedder and Beyonce. I would just literally take the address here for the video. I would head back to my learning object. I would paste it right in, and then look. Eddie Vedder and Beyonce. I can insert that here. It's best if you include your own video, your own original material, but if you're going to include someone else's material, be sure to cite the source. And look at all that. You can add a link. So if I want, here I am talking about the Maine State Legislature. I could highlight Maine State Legislature and head right up to link. And here I go. I could type in MaineLegislature.org, click add link, and now I have a link in my file. It's really easy. Very, very easy to create your learning object. You'll notice there are some more options, but they're a little hidden. There's a special icon up on this bar. It's called Toolbar Toggle. I'm going to click it. And you'll notice some more information comes in. It allows me to do some special things like create headers in this drop-down menu. Here is my top header. I could then say, here is my second header. So you can have headings and subheadings. Why does this matter? Because at the University of Maine system, we're supposed to be making our documents accessible, which means that we create nested headings. So it goes all the way down to heading 6. You'll also notice that there's an ability to do justification, text color, all sorts of neat stuff. I could select text and I could change the color if I wanted to. Be careful with that, right? Text colors are a little funny. So there's all sorts of stuff that you can do. You can even go to a spreadsheet, okay? And let's head over to a spreadsheet and let's create some data. So height and weight. And let's say person A, person B, and person C. So their height is 6'0", and their weight is 195 pounds. Another person is 5'11", and their weight is 175 pounds. A third person is 5'2", and their weight is 246 pounds. Okay, so then I can even head right here. I can copy this information, highlight it, select it. head back over to this spot here in the editor, and I can, in this visual tab, I can paste it right in. Look, I've got a table. So the sky's really the limit with what you can include here. There's a lot of possibilities, but we're going to stop by considering just these this week and in this video. Look for some other videos that talk about how to insert other interactive tools. Take a look here at this text tab. If I select that, for those of you familiar with HTML code, you'll be able to work with the original HTML code for your learning object, which means you can directly specify exactly what you want to have happen. If you're comfortable with HTML code, you might even want to write your original learning object there. So that's the handy-dandy place for you to write your learning object. One nice thing that's below, which I would really like to see people use, is a space where you can describe the learning outcomes for this learning object, for instance. And it's just another field. I would say visitors, those who complete this lesson on the Maine state legislature will be able to. This is almost like you're writing a syllabus, right? But it's small. It's for a smaller unit. And then I'm going to include a bulleted list. They will be able to describe the nature of relations between legislators, construct a matrix of relational values with appropriate labels, analyze properties of relations, including centrality, degree, and diameter, and so on and so forth. You could specify those just as would fit your learning object and what you want to have people learn. There's really just one more set of information that you would want to include. You want to categorize this. You want to put it in a context, right? So let's head over to the right. The first place to enter is the most open and free. It's a place for you to put in keywords. Why would you want to put in keywords? Because there are going to be people who want to learn what you have to teach, and they may search for these terms. So for me, it might include Eddie Vedder, social networks, the Maine, this is a really weird lesson I've created, right? The Maine state legislature, state of Maine, legislators, relations, data, matrices, and then I want to add those. If I want to look for suggestions, like what have other people come up with, I could click on choose from the most used tags. Okay. Oh, I noticed I didn't just put in the single word networks. Okay, so I could do that. That's nice. And then I could click it again to make that go away. You might also want to select the broadest scale academic discipline to describe where your work fits. Now, this could be the humanities. It could be some aspect of an interdisciplinary study. It could be language, mathematics, natural sciences, social sciences, professional studies. Social sciences, that's me, and I'm a sociologist. Although what I'm describing in this lesson plan is also germane to political science, so I'm going to select that. Now, if there's an academic discipline, a broad-scale academic discipline, I'm not talking about like political sociology. I'm not talking about plant cellular biology. I'm talking about a broad-scale kind of academic discipline. You can add it here, and you can make your own. So if there's some kind of, you could type it right in, phlebotomy, whatever it might be, and you would click add, and then you would be able to go off to the races. So the sky is really open here for you, and it's at your discretion. Also at your discretion is naming particular academic subjects. So I would say that my work is in politics, research methods, and social network analysis. Well, there's something missing there, which might be legislatures. So I could add that in. Isn't that great? Only one other feature to add, and that is called formats. This is not about the content of what you do, but about the kind of material you share. So you might, to use some examples, text. Oh, there's an image in there. Oh, there's a video. There's a table. So if I add those, then I've got a description for people who are interested in imagery or who are interested in not following imagery. When I'm done with this, with giving a title, writing out learning objectives, creating the content, and then adding taxonomies and what are called folksonomies, these keywords, without structure, I can submit this for review. Now, all that really means is that we don't want to have people coming on here from, companies and spamming this. So it's going to, when we click submit for review, it's going to tell me it's been submitted. I can preview it. And here's what it would look like. It doesn't look too good right now, but you could imagine something of yours like this. And then you're going to notice up here on the right, it will say status pending review. What will happen is that I or someone else who works with MaineOSLO is going to take a look at this, and we're going to look for certain elements, and we're going to write a review. As a matter of fact, there is a place right here at the bottom for 3 peer reviews. I'm hoping to set up a peer review system soon, where people who participate are also able to look at each other's learning objects like faculty do. And to be able to say in a nice written review, just like you would have for a journal article, what's working well and what isn't working well here. For instance, if there's plagiarism, we want to catch it and we want to let you know, hey, there's an unattributed source here. That's a problem. Have you done things for accessibility? Like, have you used headings appropriately? Are your images, do they have alt tags? Have you categorized your work? Over on the right. If not, we'll add a gentle suggestion that you do. And perhaps more substantively, is there something that you might add to your work? This is one of the things that's really hard to do when we're teaching off in our own little silos. We very rarely see each other's work. Here's a place for a reviewer to add suggestions. Well, once we get to a point, which should happen pretty quickly, where your learning object, it's been cleared in terms of accessibility, it's your own original work, and you've done your categorizations, we'll add it to the list. We'll add it to the set. It'll be a peer-reviewed piece of teaching that will be available to anyone on the internet who is interested in looking at it. And as we'll discuss in a future video, the really neat thing about the MaineOSLO website is that it's also possible to connect learning objects to one another and to then create a course of learning objects that leads you to an outcome in learning that's beyond any particular learning object. We can connect people across faculty. We can connect learning objects across disciplines. The possibilities are fairly large. We can work across campuses even once we're online in this system. And look for that future video soon, which will describe how we can link these learning objects together.